Hello, this is Jeff at exoticcarjunk.com. We are going to be removing the rear bumper from a 2003 Ferrari 360 Spider. And the first thing you want to do is obviously remove the tires, which I already have this one removed. And then the next thing we're going to be removing is this rear inner fender well panel, which is held on by 4 screws. One here, there's one up here, and then the 2 on the back wall. One here, and then the other one right here. Okay, once you have this inner panel removed, which is kind of difficult, it's got a seal here on this outer edge where my hand is, and it kind of catches behind the bumper. So you want to like kind of force it. Once you get the screws loose, you're going to have to force it kind of inboard, and it almost feels like you're going to snap the panel on this inner corner here. It's kind of difficult. Once you start forcing it over, you just got to be careful not to break these louvers because these are really fragile. So you kind of force it over and then get your finger behind here and then just kind of work it out around the edge of the bumper here. And then once you take this fender out, the inner fender well out here, it should expose a couple different things here, okay? You're going to have your 2 attach points here, which you take these 2 nuts off here, and then this plate will come off. And then it's going to be hard to see, but then there is your connector in here. This for your side marker light. So it's just got like a little tang on there. Just pull that little tang back, and then just pop that side marker apart, the connector here apart. And then once you get that apart, like I said, you get the 2 bolts here, and then with this plate, and then there's going to be, let me put a light in here. So you got your 2 bolts there, your connector, and then you're going to have 4 more. It's going to be tucked behind here. So you see the 2 on the bottom, 2 nuts there, and then there's 2 more on the top. And then one's kind of behind that hose right there. So you're going to take those 4 nuts off there and washers. And then this is all going to be duplicate on the other side. So once you have those off, these 2 off here, this connector, like I said, this will be the same on the opposite side. And then you're going to have some attach points on the bottom here. You're going to have to take, let me get that out of the way. There's going to be 2 screws here on this side, the same on the other. And then you're going to have, let me get on the other side of this lift. You're going to have all that hardware right there. So there's 2 bolts, 2 screws there, and then these 4 out here. So you want to take all those out. And then same on the other side. There's those 2 on the far side, which you're going to want to take out also. Okay, now I've got the hardware's on the bottom removed. So here's one here, and then you go a little farther forward. These are 2 bolts. 1 bolt here, and there's another bolt that's right here. And then you're going to remove these, the 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the center here. And then you're going to do the same on the outboard side here. You got 1 here and 1 here. And like I said, be gentle with this stuff. This stuff is very fragile, so don't try to pull down on it. And when you get to the point, you get all the hardware loose on the inside, you probably want to get a second person to help you remove the bumper. And then the same thing for installing it. You probably want a second person to help you line up all this stuff, because you don't want to get the bumper caught on any of this stuff, because this will snap off fairly easy. And that'll keep you from having to buy or repair this panel. I mean, you could actually remove the whole panel if you prefer, but it's not necessary to do this, to remove the whole panel underneath the car. But anyway, we'll continue on. Okay, now that I've got the right wheel removed right now, I've taken all the screws out of this rear panel. We've got one there, one here. There is one up here behind the strut, and then one down below right here. Those are the 4 screws you need to take out. Like I said, be gentle with this or you'll bust it up. So you want to like force it inboard. This is probably like, kind of have to lift it up a little bit. See how I force it in, and you can start seeing the end come out. So you're going to do that. Okay. So once you see that, you want to grab that lower left corner here. Let me grab this. It's going to be hard to do and film at the same time. So you're going to grab that. See how I pulled it out from underneath there, and just kind of follow it up. And just keep on following it up. See, until you get it out of there. Okay. So then, see, I've got it out. So that just, by the way, if that seal comes off, that just pushes back on there. So you just want to remove that. Get that out of the way. So then, again, we have our, let me get a flashlight here. I don't know what I did with it, but anyway, you have your plate over here with 2 bolts or nuts. Let's take these off, and the plate. Then you have your connector up here for your marker light. Okay, so there's your connector for your side marker light right here on the left. Put that down and see if you can still see that. So you want to take this and just pop this little clip, then it pops out. Okay, so there's your side marker light connector. Okay, and then again, we're going to remove, there's a better shot on this side, these 4 bolts. These are nuts, actually, nuts and washers. There's 2 there and 2 on the top. One's inboard a little bit, it's hard to see here. So you're going to remove all those 4, the 4 on the other side, and then the side bracket. Now, you can leave these alone on the inboard side, don't mess with those. There's 2 bolts that go inboard, don't mess with those. Leave those alone. So, we'll continue to proceed on. We'll remove the nuts inboard and outboard here, and then we'll continue to remove the bumper then. Okay, now that I've got the bumper removed, like I said, it's easier to do with 2 people. Obviously, it was hard for me to do this, so there was only 2 of us. I couldn't film and remove the bumper at the same time. But you can see I have the 4 nuts here for the bigger, which are 17 millimeter, and then the 2 for the side, which are 13 millimeter, and then for these, the bigger 17 millimeter, you probably have to use a deep well socket for those because those studs are kind of long. And then back here, this is the side bracket. You leave that alone, and then here's the center bracket. And as a matter of fact, these are a set of washers. They're kind of like spacers, so just leave those there. You might have to, when you go to push it back on, you might have to remove these and then probably take 2 people and then try to reinsert these in over the studs when you reinstall them. These will probably fall out. So these are bushings. And then, like I said, leave these 2 alone. Don't mess with those. And then also when you're removing it, for your license plate light assembly, there'll be a connector right in the center here. It's under here. There's a connector you'll have to remove while you're removing the bumper. So don't forget that, or you'll break that wire. So other than that, it's pretty simple. There is a couple of, right here you can see the studs sticking out. There is a shim here, and there's a plate. It fell off. It's on the ground here, but this goes back on here. And you go back together with it. Say it fits back on there. So anyway, yeah, that's it for now. The reason I'm moving the bumper is I'm going to remove the exhaust to change out the upper rubber bushing. It's like an engine mount for the transmission. So I'll probably shoot another video just for that, and then I'll shoot the remainder of this video reinstalling the bumper when I get to that point. So that'll probably be 2 separate videos. But anyway, the bumper is removed right now, and really the install is just the opposite of what we just did. But I'll try to film that going back together.